Hi everyone, it's Lindenherz. Blessed New Year, everyone. I finally found some time to do a video, and as you can see here, I want to talk to you about the Weaver's Oracle, about something. I got an idea from a fellow Instagrammer, and I thought this might be something I want to share with all of you. A lot of you who follow me on Instagram will already know that, and as you can see by the title, there's a hashtag I created. So the hashtag is Weavers Tribe 2018. And I got this idea, I got inspired by a conversation with a fellow Instagrammer, Letty Luna. And a lot of us were doing this year ahead spread. In my case, I did the 12 nights of winter solstice and drew a card every night. And but a lot of us worked with the Weaver's Oracle, and I started to call these 13 ladies here my tribe. So this is my Weaver's tribe for this year, and I want to work with them, and I want to want to work with them basically. And when I looked at all the other videos, other posts on Instagram and photos of those who also did the year ahead spread with the Weavers, I found out we share a lot of the cards actually. There were, I'm not sure how many of us, but there were a lot of people where I thought, okay, we share sometimes 3, sometimes up to 6 cards, and maybe there's some kind of collective lessons for us to learn from those Weavers. So still can't really pronounce that correctly. It sounds a bit awful here, awkward. So these ladies here maybe have something to share with us so collectively, and I thought maybe we should do a hashtag where we could share our experiences with these ladies and with these wise women here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. Those of you who are on Instagram, I thought this could be quite a cool idea to share this. This is not only for those of you who did some kind of a year ahead spread or something, but also for those of you who work with the Weavers, with this Oracle deck throughout the year. So I think this could be quite a great experience to share with you, all of us. We share these experiences. I can't talk today. Should I say that? I've tried to record this video. I guess I can't count at the moment how many times I've tried that. Anyhow, I think it could be a great thing to share, all of us, our experiences with the Weavers, and how we work with them, and how I plan to work with them, because I felt this year I felt really to do it quite simple, or do it a simple way, because last year during the 12 nights of the winter solstice or 12 nights of Yule, I'm not quite sure. I drew card every night, and I also drew runes, and I also drew extra cards for each of the seasons and so on. And in the end, I've never really worked with that. I've looked at it a couple of times here now, and every now and then, I should say, and for some reason I didn't felt to work with it, and it seemed too many cards. And I should also say that I've had some kind of a tarot withdrawal in the middle of the year last year. So I had really some problems with reading tarot at all. The cards didn't make sense to me, and or I didn't read any tarot or oracle cards, I should say. So no divination cards or something, no cartomancy for me, and I had really some issues with that, and it took a long time to get back to the cards. And what I found was that the lesser cards, the better it is for me to get back to my tarot motivation, I should say, to get it back. And when I thought of doing the 12 nights of winter solstice, I thought, okay, I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it as simple as possible. And the moment I've ordered this deck, I thought, okay, this will be the deck I will work with during these nights, and I will draw and I will work with during the year, so this year actually, so 2018. I've seen a lot of great spreads, year ahead spreads, I should say, for these 12 upcoming months on Instagram, and was quite stunned by sometimes how many decks there were involved and how many cards there were. But when I thought of doing something similar, I felt purely and sheer overwhelmed. So I thought I have to keep it so simple, so basic, so I can really focus my whole concentration and spiritual work on just a few cards, so just 13. So why 13? Maybe it was a thing. A lot of you also draw a year theme card or something. This was not the case with this card. I guess I've said it in the last video or something, that this card found me actually. So this card was really the first time I saw her when I made the video, the flip through. First time I saw her, she made such an impression on me. She was constantly on my mind. She came back and visited me, and in my mind, stayed half between sleep and being awake. And I thought, okay, she has to tell me something. She wants to be my guide. She wants to be at my side and guide me through the year. And I thought, okay, I will work with her. She will be my main guide, my main spirit sister, so to speak. I will listen to her. And while I was working in my spiritual landscape, or spiritscape, you could say, or sacredscape, I find there are different ways of describing it. You can also say the astral realm or something. I prefer to call it my sacred landscape, because this was the way I was taught it by Anneke Greystone from Mirth and Reverence in her elemental balancing year in the day studies. So this was the way I was learning it, and how I come to, or find it comfortable to call it. So she was there, and she was in a particular interesting spot, because I was still in this kind of North Sea island mood. We were visiting on our honeymoon, and this is a dear island to me, and a sacred landscape on its very own, in its very physical state of being, so to say. So this kind of landscape found its way into my inner landscape, so to speak, if this makes sense to you at all. And I was sitting there at this very sacred spot, where in the real realm they recreated this Iron Age house. What I've shared it with you in another video, and this space was between dunes and so on. And there she was sitting there on the fireplace and was welcoming me, and I was quite surprised to see her there. And we started conversation, and didn't know what she was there for, and all she was saying is, I'm there for you. You've invited me here. I'm here for you. And from this time on, it got really intense, these experiences there, and also with the weavers in general. So what I've done during these nights was sitting there and inviting all those women to this sacred space, sacred landscape. In front of the house, inside the house, we also have fireplace, and all these women were coming to this place while I was sitting there with her, with Rana, with the shaman weaver of valleys. And we were visiting, we were, expecting, so to speak, these visitors that came by every night. So slowly but surely it got really crowded there, and it was really intense. And this is really a deck that is, for me, is just perfect. I'm not sure why it's just this and not necessarily other decks. There are other decks that come close. Like, for instance, the Wisdom Keeper's Oracle. But I know that some people thought these two decks could be too similar, but I've said it before, and now I'm really convinced they're not. They're not the same. So both have ancestral energies, but in a different way. So this one is deep, a deep deck. I know it's it's the only way I can describe it. It's a deep deck. It feels for me like, I'm not sure what Carolyn Hillier was creating here, what her intention was. Sure, it was in the book, but there is something about this deck where I think these women comes from our collective unconscious. So our collective ancestors, our collective past, and have something to tell us, have something to teach us. And they feel real in some degree. So more real than maybe other characters that emerge on other decks or from other cards. They feel more that they are coming to you and reach you, in the most deepest way. So it's as if these characters are coming from your bones or something. So this is the only way I can describe it. And it's also wonderful that we find all these different kinds of people here, not just white people, because here are really, this is a world family that is represented here in this deck, which is great. And you feel that this deck was, that this deck took long to emerge from this collective unconscious. So this is really something which is truly unique, I find, and is a really powerful thing that Carolyn Hillier did with this deck. What I will do also is ordering the this is just the cover of the box or something, the top of the box. What I will do is order the German guidebook by Carolyn Hillier separately. I've talked to her before, and she said that she can sell it separately. For some reason, I have no problem with reading that guidebook, but for some reason, I feel I have to read it in my mother tongue. There are so many layers. I feel I have to approach it in my mother tongue, and it's great that this possibility that this is that this is real, that I can do it actually, that there was a lovely woman, I can't recall her name at the moment, but I'm sure I will do a video separately, or at least a post, because I got in contact with her on Instagram. She's also on Instagram, the translator of the German version of the guidebook. And this is really something I want to do. I want to get that book separately and read it in my mother tongue, because I feel the need to do that. So, I don't want to make this super long, because I think there will be a lot of more stories to tell about these cards and these characters that will guide us through this year. Whether it's in your year ahead spread or in your monthly draws or something like a weekly draw or something. A lot of people are still wondering how to work with that deck, or those of you who considered getting it. And I've read it, and I've said it also in commentaries on Instagram, that this is not your typical Oracle deck. This is not a fast or quick answer deck that you will where you do a draw and expect an answer on a certain problem that is quite maybe an urgent problem or something. And I also feel that this isn't a deck for spreads, except for this kind of monthly spread where you have a guide for each month or maybe for each week or something. It is not something for big spreads or something. This is a deck where single cards have so many layers that you can spend really long time to sit with them, and they can teach you and teach you and teach you and never stop. And you will find layers after layers after layers. So this is what I will do. I will also share it here. I will share it on Instagram. Maybe some of the things that are too personal I won't share, but some of the things, how I work with them in my sacred landscape. And I also guess I will do a separate video at one point where I share with you how I approach these kind of, I know in general, often it's called astral realm. I don't call it like that, like I said before, but I will share with you how I approach them, how I got to learn about them, and how I rediscovered them, because in fact I'm doing these kind of sacred landscape travels since I was a little child. So this was only a new approach that we got taught in our studies by Annie, and it is simply a great tool and a very important tool on my spiritual path. So I hope you will join this hashtag, join the tribe, and we can exchange our experiences. You can also use it on Facebook. I'm not so often on Facebook, I have to say. We can join our experiences also on Instagram and share what kind of teachings and deep wisdom these women want to share with us. So I hope this was somehow it makes sense or made sense to you, and we will see us hopefully very soon. I can't promise at the moment because a lot of things to do, and I'm crafting like crazy at the moment again for my Etsy shop. And I will do my best, and we will see us in the next video, and hopefully you will share the tribe, and we will read and exchange our experiences with these great women. So bye bye.